WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, hundreds were killed in a plane crash in India, but somehow one person survived. Plus, hundreds of people are being laid off at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. And lightning leaves its mark at a Michigan golf course. Those stories and a lot more, and all in the first 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start that clock. We begin with the airliner crash in India that killed at least 240 people today, including people on the ground when the plane landed in a residential area. But there was a single surviving passenger. Officials say the passenger walked away from the crash and escaped life-threatening injuries. Tonight he's being treated at a hospital. A doctor told reporters the man was disoriented and had injuries all over his body, but seemed to be out of danger. It's not yet known why the Boeing Dreamliner went down. An international team of investigators are now working to find answers.
Please know that we will continue to share accurate and timely information as soon as we can. But anything we report must be accurate and not speculative. We owe that to everyone involved.
The plane was bound for the United Kingdom. At least 5 medical students were killed on the ground and nearly 50 others injured, some critically, when the plane hit a medical college. Back here in the United States, a JetBlue flight that was landing at Boston's Logan International Airport today rolled off the runway and into the grass. No one was hurt, but the runway shut down this afternoon and a ground stop on all flights was in effect. The FAA is investigating. In the nation's capital, a United States senator was physically shoved out of a Department of Homeland Security news conference today. Take a look.
Also, I want to talk specifically to the rioters and to the politicians in Los Angeles. I also want to talk about specifically.
Well, that was Democratic Senator Alex Padilla of California, who tried to ask DHS Secretary Kristi Noem some questions. The senator was also handcuffed by security agents. The secretary had been speaking about, quote, liberating Los Angeles from Democratic leadership. Senator Padilla says while he was detained, he was not arrested. Back here at home, 220 people are being laid off and more than 400 open positions are being eliminated at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. The insurance company made voluntary separation an option for employees earlier this year and cut almost 250 contract jobs as well. The company is the largest health insurer in the state with 830,000 members here in Michigan. A road rage case in Berrien County has an 18-year-old man in jail tonight accused of attempted murder. Sheriff's officials say the suspect is from Indiana and shot another person at a truck stop off US 12 last week Friday. That person survived the shooting. The 18-year-old is scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow. An Ypsilanti man will spend the next 15.5 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to coercing and enticing a minor. A judge also ordered the 41-year-old suspect to pay $150,000 in restitution to the victims. An FBI investigation found the man met up with a 13-year-old girl and sexually assaulted her. He also coerced another 13-year-old girl, this one from Ohio, into sending him nude photos. And staying here in Michigan, a former police officer in the Upper Peninsula is charged with misconduct in office and gun crimes. The Attorney General's office says while working for the Norway Police Department last year, 43-year-old Chad Olson used police databases to get personal information on women that he was interested in. He's also accused of buying a gun using police credentials after resigning from the job. In this update now from New York, the judge declared a mistrial on a remaining rape charge in Harvey Weinstein's sex crimes retrial after the jury foreperson refused to deliberate further. On Wednesday, Weinstein was convicted of one of the top charges but acquitted of another. Both of them involved accusations from 2006. Those verdicts still stand. But because of the mistrial, the ex-studio boss faces a third New York trial on the rape count and a new sentencing on his sexual assault conviction. Weinstein denies all charges. Meantime, in the sex trafficking and racketeering trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs today, his lawyer complained about secrecy surrounding the proceedings. Combs and the public were excluded from closed-door arguments over whether another famous rapper's name could be disclosed. It concerns an unknown event that reportedly took place in a hotel room last year. Combs denies all charges that he used his fame, fortune, violence, and threats to manipulate girlfriends into sex with paid sex workers. In Boston today, a Russian-born scientist and Harvard University researcher charged with smuggling frog embryos into the United States, has been released on bail. The 30-year-old woman has been in federal custody since February. She was returning from a vacation in France where she obtained a package of superfine sections of frog embryos for research. She was questioned about the samples while passing through a checkpoint at Logan International. Now, she says she didn't realize the items needed to be declared. She faces a probable cause hearing next week. And overhead here in mid-Michigan this summer, you might notice a lot of helicopters flying around. Well, that's because ITC Transmission is conducting aerial patrols of high voltage power lines across the state. They're looking at the status of the wires and if they need any maintenance. From now through Tuesday, they will be in Clinton, Eaton, Ingham, and Hillsdale counties. And then between June 18 and the 24th, they will still be checking on things in Clinton County. Then they move to northern Michigan for the rest of the work. And ending the first 6 minutes of news on the golf course today, the Treetops Resort in Gaylord shared this picture on social media of what happens when lightning strikes. They say it's actually helpful in some ways because it releases nitrogen that's good for the grass. Always thinking about the grass at the golf course. But for humans, of course, it's a good reminder to head indoors, Kendall, when those storms arrive. Curious to hear your thoughts.
I mean, I think it's amazing to see just how far that electricity can span from that strike point there. So like you mentioned, a good reminder when thunder roars, head indoors.
Absolutely. I wonder how long that'll stick around like that. Maybe they'll keep it that way, or maybe they'll put some fresh grass seed down. I don't know.
I feel like you have to keep it just to tell the story.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, speaking of thunder and lightning, we do have the chance for rain in the forecast, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about that after the break, though.
All right, Kendall, thank you. And then later in this week's Popcorn Picks, you'll get a preview of the latest films to watch in the theater and at home. That and much more still to come, so keep it right here for 6 News at 5:30.